It all started in 1947 with Roswell and some weather balloon. But what if that was just the cover story? And the real history goes back thousands of years. That story is in your old documentaries. What if the same impossible objects people are filming today were seen by our ancestors and recorded in their most sacred texts? And once you see the real pattern, you start to notice something darker. They've always been here, watching. So if they didn't start in 1947, where did they start? Go back, way back. Cave walls from 10,000 years ago show strange disc-shaped figures descending from the sky. Ancient Sumerian texts described gods arriving in fiery boats. In India, the Vedas and Mahabharata tell of Vimanas, flying machines that could hover, travel at impossible speeds, and destroy cities with beams of light. Not myths to them, technology. Ancient texts even describe wars in the sky, with weapons that sound like lasers and nuclear fire. Some researchers point to vitrified forts in Scotland and glass-like sand in the deserts, evidence of weapons far beyond what Bronze Age humans could build. Halfway across the world, the prophet Ezekiel, around 600 BC, described wheels within wheels, flashing fire, living creatures moving without turning, and a throne above them. He called it a vision from God. Ancient astronaut theorists call it a landing craft. The pyramids of Egypt and the temples of the Maya align with stars in ways that still baffle engineers. They were built with a precision no primitive tools could achieve, as if someone, or something, gave them a blueprint from above, or built them like landing beacons. For millennia, the sightings continued. Roman historians recorded shield-shaped objects in the sky. Medieval monks drew flying crosses and burning spheres. Sailors in the age of exploration logged strange lights, pacing their ships. Then came the modern era, World War II. Allied pilots called them Foo Fighters, glowing orbs that followed planes and jammed radar, but never attacked. Both sides thought they were secret weapons of the enemy. February 1942, the Battle of Los Angeles. Just months after Pearl Harbor, anti-aircraft guns blast a massive hovering object. Thousands watched. Newspapers printed photos. The Army called it a false alarm, but the shells exploded around something solid. June 24, 1947. Pilot Kenneth Arnold sees 9 crescent-shaped objects skipping across the sky near Mount Rainier like saucers on water. The term flying saucers is born. 2 weeks later, Roswell, New Mexico. A rancher finds strange debris. The Army says, flying disc recovered. Then, hours later, just a weather balloon. The cover story that launched 1,000 conspiracies. Bodies. Autopsies. The whispers never stopped, and whistleblowers claim Roswell wasn't alone. There were multiple crash sites across New Mexico, Arizona, and even Italy in the 1930s under Mussolini. The rumor of reverse-engineered tech-built Area 51. The government spent decades laughing it all off. The Air Force launched Project Blue Book, investigating over 12,000 sightings. Most were explained away, but hundreds were not. When the project closed in 1969 saying, "Nothing to see here," the sightings kept coming. The pattern merely repeated. Governments see something they can't explain, study it in secret, and deny it in public. In the 1960s and 70s, it was the Betty and Barney Hill abduction and the Pascagoula incident. Abduction stories from the 50s to today follow the exact same script. Paralyzed witnesses, medical exams, and missing time. Thousands of reports too consistent to dismiss. In 1976, Iranian magnetic jets chased a diamond-shaped craft that disabled their weapons systems remotely. In 1980, at Rendlesham Forest, England, U.S. Air Force personnel touched a glowing craft, recording radiation spikes and strange messages burned into their minds. Then came the massive public encounters. The Phoenix Lights in 1997, a massive V-shaped craft seen by thousands over Arizona, including the governor, who later admitted it was not of this world. Then the 2004 Nimitz encounter. Navy pilots off California chased a tic-tac-shaped object that dropped from 80,000 feet to sea level in seconds. No wings, no exhaust, defying physics. In 2017, the Navy dropped the bombshell gimbal, go fast, and FLIR videos. Pilots went on the record, "This thing is not from this world." It rotated against the wind with no visible propulsion, outmaneuvering our best fighters like they were standing still. By the 2020s, Congress was forced to act. UAP hearings and Pentagon task forces commenced. Whistleblowers like David Grush testified under oath about crash retrievals and non-human biologics. Governments clearly knew more than they let on. And then, 2026. The floodgates open. The president directs a full unsealing. The Presidential Unsealing and Reporting System, PURSUE, starts dropping tranches on May 8th, May 22nd, and June 12th. Hundreds of files, videos, and photos hit like bombshells. Old 1940s CIA memos and FBI files on orbs over Colorado Springs mix with fresh 2025 and 2026 sightings. We see video of orbs swarming and splitting like living things over military bases, and fighter jets scrambling after objects that dive into the ocean and keep going. A football field-sized craft hovers silently over the Northeast, filmed by civilians and watched by agents in awe. Apollo transcripts surface, describing strange lights pacing capsules on the way to the moon. The government says many remain unresolved. There is no smoking gun photo of little green men yet, but the unresolved cases pile up. Objects that defy gravity, physics, and every known aircraft on Earth. The world is waking up. China has its own sightings. Russia, Brazil, everywhere. No country has a monopoly on the sky. So what are we dealing with? Extraterrestrials studying us? Interdimensional beings slipping through reality? Time travelers? Secret human tech? Or the scariest theory of all, they're not visitors. They've been here longer than we have. And the real cover-up isn't about spaceships. It's about control. Consider this. Nuclear weapons consistently trigger more sightings. Missile silos have repeatedly reported unknown objects shutting down warheads remotely. The message is received, don't blow up the planet. We're watching. For our entire history, they've been the shadow in the sky. Now, the shadows are stepping forward. The 2026 files don't give the final answer. They just prove one thing. We've never been alone. The question isn't whether they exist. It's why they're here. And what happens next now that the world is finally paying attention? Right now, you are paying attention. When full disclosure hits, will it set us free or change everything in ways we can't handle? The next light you see overhead might not be a plane. It might not be a star. It might be them. And this time, the whole planet is watching back. Are you ready for the truth?